guys, what's up? NullRage here with another skill preview. This time we're taking a look at Invisible Woman. That's right, Sue Storm. First thing I want to go over with Sue Storm is her amazing walk animation. Now she's gonna walk around for just a bit, but then, that is sweet. So, just like some of the other heroes, Storm or Iron Man, I think does the same thing. You know, they walk for a bit, jog, and then they take off into a flight animation. That's pretty cool. Next order of business, let's have a look at her passive ability. Where's she at? Oh, there she is. It looks like her level 25 synergy is going to be 2% energy damage, and her level 50 synergy is going to be 2% deflect projectile chance. Cool stuff. Next thing is, of course, her skills. I can't go over her other costume just yet because it's not in the test center yet, but her two launch costumes are going to be this one and the Future Foundation costume as well. And the Future Foundation looks pretty sweet from what I've seen of the pics. But I've of course gone ahead and put 1 point into every skill. She's got 3 trees: Dynamic Force, Entropic Force, and Static Force. The first one we're going to go over is Dynamic Force. First skill in the tree is Force Disc. Continually boomerang razor-thin discs of force that slice through anything in their path. I've got that on left click. Let's go ahead and see what it looks like. Oh wow, that is... seems to be not hitting all the time, but maybe there's a little bit of lag on the test center right now. That definitely seems to be the case. But still, a pretty cool looking ability all the same. It's going to do some initial damage as it passes through, and then I assume some damage as it comes back through too. It's going to hit once, going to hit twice, and just a little bit of lag going on with that ability right now. Next in the tree, we've got, actually the next one is a passive, Combat Orbs. In combat, you enter a state of perfect concentration, controlling the flow of battle with a massive array of force fields. Enemies you attack writhe in pain as tiny spheroids of force course through their bodies. It's going to increase your energy damage. It's going to give you bonus damage rating on spending focus. Now, focus is the secondary mechanic, and all it says right now is focus builds over time. Some powers cost focus instead of spirit. You seem to have 3 pips of it, and I imagine, you know, using one skill with focus is going to use up 1 pip. And then the next thing we've got is 20% chance to, on hit, to deal energy damage twice per second for 3 seconds. So 20% chance on hit to apply an energy dot. Pretty cool. Next skill in the tree, Bouncing Discs. Sling out small disc-shaped shields traveling at high velocity that ricochet between targets. Damage dealt to the target decreases each time it's hit again. Let's have a look at what that looks like. Oh, is this it's a basic? Yes, it is a basic, and it is a bouncing ability, similar to Ricochet Blast on Cyclops. Oh wow, the possibilities. That's going to be a lot of fun. Next one we've got Force Torrent. Unleashes a torrent of spheroids, shredding anything in the way. It's going to deal some energy damage, and probably looks frontal cone AoE kind of stuff. Let's have a look. Force Torrent. Oh wow, that's a big AoE area. What? That's crazy. You just obliterate anything in front of you. And you can, of course, move it around and do whatever you want. High spirit cost. It takes a lot of spirit. Next up, we've got swirling spheres. Spend your focus to create a system of swirling force spheres that pummel enemies caught in their path. It's going to deal some energy damage per second, area duration of 5 seconds, and it has a spirit cost, but usually it'll be using this focus. Alright, let's have a look at that. Oh, that's cool. Bubbles. Many bubbles, handle it. You can, of course, have multiple of them out at a time. It looks like it's going directly to Spirit right now. That is something that probably will be changed eventually, but it is not... It's for some reason not using focus, but it says it will, so I imagine it will once it goes live. Remember, this is all recorded on the test center, so I'm sure there's many things that, you know, may change or aren't working. That is apparently one of them. Next, we've got her signature ability, is Concentrated Force. Pull enemies in towards you and knock them back again, gaining damage shields. Expend the damage shields before they dissipate to cause more explosions before the power goes on cooldown. Each damage shield fuels one explosion. Okay, so each enemy you hit is going to create a damage shield stack on you, maybe? Up to 5. Yeah, damage negated. Yeah, that's what it's going to do. Damage negated 20% per stack, up to 5 stacks for 8 seconds. So you can get, if you hit 5 enemies with this, I guess, you're going to be completely immune to damage until you expend the shields. It's going to have the initial damage of 40k, and the energy explosion damage afterwards is going to be a little bit less. Alright, let's have a look at what this looks like, if I'm understanding this correctly. Pull everybody in, and now we've got our shields on us. And then you can just explode a whole bunch of times for more. That's pretty cool. I like that. The cooldown does not activate until the final explosion is cast, though. So it is that 30-second cooldown. It will not activate until you've expended all of your charges. That is one thing to take into account. Let's just have another look at that real quick, since that is her signature. Alright, so big initial explosion, boom. And then you've got damage shields on you, and you can expend them very rapidly for a huge AoE explosion damage. Pretty cool. Next up, we've got the Crusher. Manifest a massive orb covered in spikes to roll around the battlefield, flattening enemies as it rolls. You can have 3 orbs out at a time. Okay, this sounds interesting. So, what? What determines how it moves? Okay, that's really cool and all, but what determines how it moves? It's a summon duration of 30 seconds. Is it just... Okay, it follows me as if it were a pet, and also moves around doing its own thing randomly, but only after it's followed me for a bit. That's interesting. I could see this being a very fun move to use in X defense. Just throwing out 3 of these and running around and just watching them kill everything. They don't seem to want to move initially on their own. They're a little bit I don't know, a little bit spastic on their movement. They'll follow you around like pets, and then they'll just sit there, but they only do damage when they move through things. But sometimes they'll move around. Anyway, interesting ability, lots of possibilities. And again, this is early beta, so we may see some changes to this skill in the next few days. And I see a lot of possibility in that Crusher skill. That could be really cool. Not to mention its summon duration. That means the damage from it, and that means tagged as summon, so the damage from it's going to scale with summon damage, which could be really cool, worked into a few different builds. Next up, we've got the Entropic Force tree. Let me go ahead and pull... Is there a basic ability in this tree? Nope, no basic abilities in this tree. So we'll just go ahead and put 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, that's a passive. Alright, 4, and F. Alright, first things first, let's go over the passive in the tree, and then we'll get to the active abilities. Invisible combat. Being invisible on demand is invaluable in combat, granting you offensive bonuses and allowing you to move more quickly. Gives you a little bit of crit rating, and while invisible, double focus gain. So this little bar will fill up faster, allowing you to use a lot more of your abilities. By the way, you didn't... I heard the pips. I wasn't watching the bar, but I heard the sound of the Crusher using my what do you call it, focus here. So that is being used correctly by the Crusher, but apparently not by swirling spheres. Anyway, double focus gain and energy damage rating while invisible, and 5% move speed while invisible. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Alright, let's have a look at the active abilities in the tree. The first one is Shield Blitz. Dash forward on a wave of force, knocking down enemies in your path, then folding it around yourself to allow projectiles to be ignored. Pretty cool. It's got some energy damage, stun and knockdown, projectile deflection chance. Let's see what it looks like. Alright. It's your basic dash. Pretty cool. Alright, the next one in the tree is invisibility. This just allows her to go invisible. I don't believe it's... Yeah, there it is. It at least makes you immune to negative status effects. I don't know that it breaks crowd control, though. It does make you immune to negative status effects. So, there you go. Invisible. You can't see me. Neener, neener, neener. Why would you ever want Sue Storm to go invisible, though? Right? Anyway. Levitated Disc is the next one in the tree. It's going to be your basic flight power. Well, I'm pretty sure it's going to be far from basic, based on what I've heard about it. But it's just going to give you some increased move speed, and let's see what it looks like. Oh, that is so cool. That is sick. I just gotta zoom in and focus a little bit on this. Look at the disc on the bottom. It's not stationary. It's actually flipping from one side to the other, like it's actually spinning. The disc, when she's running like this, does the same thing. It wobbles just a bit, like a real disc would. That's pretty cool. Alright, next up we've got Seeker Orbs. Create a swarm of tiny spheres of force that seek out and collide with nearby enemies. It's a homing ability. I love homing abilities. Alright, ranged area ability, damage per missile. What we got? Oh, that is sick! That... There's a cooldown on it, though. So it's gonna be similar to micro missiles with Iron Man. The one difference between it and micro missiles, though, is the fact that Sue Storm has to stop moving to cast this, and Iron Man does not. But yeah, pretty good ability. Next up, we've got Conceal Team. Spend focus to bend light around you and your allies, making everyone invisible and giving you an advantage in combat. Now the damage rating boost, I'm not sure if it's going to apply to your teammates when you boost them, because it says giving you an advantage in combat. It might give a damage rating boost to your teammates. Buff duration is, of course, 3 seconds. Cooldown is 10 seconds. And there you go. Simple invisibility. Seems like the area is rather low on that. Still pretty cool. Next up, we've got the Static Force Tree. Do we have a basic in this tree? Nope, no basic in this tree, so I'll just go ahead and put them all on the bar. That one's a passive. Alright, let's go over the passive first. Force Field Control. Your control of force increases your defenses, giving you a chance to block projectiles, as well as allowing you to heal when your force hits enemies. Okay, cool. So a little bit of damage rating, projectile deflection chance, which of course will stack with the projectile deflection chance from Shield Blitz, and some life on hit. Pretty cool, pretty cool. Then on into the skills on the bar, we've got Crushing Force, ranged area skill. Crush enemies under a massive disc-shaped force field. Gonna apply vulnerability, and I imagine she's just gonna drop plates on these dummies here. Yep, dropping plates. Oh, that's cool. Alright, Shockwave is the next one in the tree. Use your focus to send out a force shockwave, dealing damage to and knocking back enemies. Also restores spirit to you and your allies. Cool. It's got a cooldown of 5 seconds. Pretty nice energy damage. Probably going to scale quite well, this shockwave. And restore spirit to you and spirit to your allies. Let's have a look at what it looks like. Boom. Oh, that animation's really cool. The damage a little bit delayed. What's up with that? Maybe here. Let's try again. Yeah, the damage ticks when I move. Okay. Maybe some lag going on with this skill too, but still pretty cool looking. I mean, I just want to look at the animation real quick for this, and look at the way that it's like explosions out and then pulls back in. That's pretty cool. Protective Spheres. Spend focus to encase you and your allies in protective force shields. It's going to give you some defense, gonna give you some block chance, and duration of 6 seconds, cooldown of 15. Let's have a look at the animation for that one. Boom. That's pretty cool looking. It's only got a duration of 6 seconds, huh? So it's more like an active block than a passive, chance to block thing. Alright, next up we've got Force Spikes. Ranged area skill. Spend focus to summon an area of force spikes with a large destructible center spike that absorbs missiles and obstructs enemy movement. Gonna deal some energy damage twice per second, slow everything in the area, and deflect projectiles. Area duration of 5 seconds, cooldown of none. It does require focus to do, though. That is one thing, is it does require focus. It cannot be spent if you do not have a pip focus. Same with Shockwave, it would seem. Alright, Crashing Wave style is the next skill in the tree. Ranged ability, using techniques taught you by Iron Fist. Perform up to 3 shielded punches that cause shockwaves, dealing damage to the first enemy hit and knocking them down. Okay, so energy damage. Third strike deals 50% extra total damage. Sounds cool. Let's have a look at that. Okay, the animations. Don't quite line up just yet. But I'm sure they'll get that worked out by the time she goes live. Next, we've got Shield Dome. Create a dome of force that has a chance to reflect projectiles. Allies inside the dome gain increased defenses and take less damage. Defense rating is increased, damage negated 30%, and I believe that's going to apply to everybody. Pretty nice. Projectile reflection chance 30%, area duration of 5 seconds, cooldown of only 10 seconds. That's going to be very nice. Boom. Oh yes, I can see this being very useful in Cosmic Terminals and the upcoming raids. Very fun. Alright, that's the last of her normal abilities. What about her ultimate? Let's have a look. Spheroid Typhoon. Surround yourself with a cloud of spherical force fields orbiting at blinding speeds that pummel and slow nearby enemies. You enter a state of heightened concentration, gaining additional focus in the eye of the storm. It's going to make you crowd control immune. You're going to do energy damage twice per second, probably to everything around you. Slow the attack and move speeds of everything. Alright, and it's duration of 20 seconds, cooldown of 10 minutes. Let's have a look. Nope, that was the wrong button. Alright, here we go. Oh man, that is cool. Very nice, very nice. Alright guys, normally about now I'd show off her uniques, but unfortunately the unique box is not available on the test center, so I cannot show off her uniques, and I can't do what I did last time with Taskmaster and show off the page because they haven't been found yet in game. So I might do a yeah, in fact, as soon as it's available, there will be a image of all of her uniques available in the description of this video. But it may be, you know, a couple days after release before all of those have been found and are available. Alright guys, Sue Storm, very, very cool looking. I hope you've enjoyed this skill preview. I look forward to playing her, and you should too. Till next time, take it easy. Have a good one. Peace.